everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am really excited to film this for you. I've been seeing these type of videos all around YouTube lately. Some of my favorite beauty bloggers have done them. I'm not exactly certain who started this trend, but I'm really excited. So today I'm going to show you how I did my makeup in high school. And the reason why I think this is so exciting for me is because how I do my makeup now is so different from how I did my makeup back in high school. And it's going to be so fun to revisit that because it has been a really long time since I've done this. Like, I think junior year in college is the last time I did makeup this way. So I do know a lot of people go out and buy the same products that they used to use. I honestly don't remember the brand of most of the products I used to use. And I don't want to go out and buy it just for this one video because I will use it once, never use again, because some of the products I used weren't that great. And actually I used to use products from the Mary Kay and Ashley line and that's discontinued. So you can't even get that anymore. So I'm just going to use what I have. And then I'll tell you what I used to use if I remember it. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I would do in high school is I would put my foundation on. The foundation I would use would be a powder foundation, and it was always a CoverGirl Compact. The CoverGirl Compact, it didn't matter which one, I just bought whatever sounded the most interesting at the time. So I'm going to use the Laura Geller Baked Balance in Brighten Foundation in Fair that I have. The only powder foundation I own, and I would always apply it with the powder poof that it came with. This doesn't come with powder poof, but I have one from another compact. So let's do this. Now, back in high school, I did not have rosacea, so I was able to do just a light dusting of powder and get away with it. Now I need something a little more heavy to cover up that redness, but we're just gonna let the redness show through. So also back then I did not have the dry patches from my rosacea, so I never moisturized my face. I do now. I skipped it for this video just to see how it goes, and I could already see the dryness starting to come through. So rest assured, after this I'm doing my full skincare routine. So alright, so I would just do a light powdering. And then I would pack my CoverGirl Compact away into my purse and take it to school with me for application later, because that's what all the girls did. You put on foundation throughout the day. I never brought the foundation under my eyes, cover my dark circles, and I never wore concealer. And I will tell you, I had really bad dark circles in high school, just like I do now. Back then, I loved it. I was a bit of a goth girl, and honestly that was actually before I was the only goth girl in my high school, and then you had the ICP kids, and then you had a couple emos, and that was it for the alternative. I went to a really rural school. We were in the middle of a cornfield and a cow pasture, and most of the kids were we called them the preps, the preppy varieties, or the farmers. So I didn't quite fit into any group. I was an island of my own. So I kind of stood out quite a bit back then. And honestly, my blue hair goes with this whole look, although it would have been magenta back then. Anyway, enough about my high school. The next thing that I would do is, oh yeah, I was telling you about my dark circles. Well, I opened this. So I loved my dark circles because it kind of went with the whole goth theme. I tried my best to avoid the sunlight as much as possible. I was so fair that the fairest of fair foundations just were too dark for me still. And I remember going to Hot Topic and they had that compact, I don't know what brand it was anymore, but it was compact and it was just straight white powder, and I would put on my CoverGirl and then I'd cover it with that white foundation just to make it match my skin. I was so pale and all my veins showed through because it wasn't just pale, it was transparent, and honestly it wasn't a good look. And the dark circles stood out so badly, but you know, it went with that dark, deep, depressed sort of look I was going for. Sometimes I miss it. It was a good time. Anyway, so then I would put black eyeshadow on my eyelids. Now I should correct myself. I did go out and buy this because I needed a sponge applicator because I wanted to apply it in the same way that I would back then. I couldn't find a sponge applicator, so I just went ahead and bought this. Oh, and I dropped it. So I just went ahead and bought this. This is the CoverGirl Single Foundation in Shimmering Onyx. I would just use a sponge applicator, and I would use the pointed side, and I would just put this all over my lid. Because nothing says goth of the early 2000s like black shadow. Oh man, this stuff is worse than I remember. It goes on so splotchy. Oh, such an uneven coating. But back then, I don't think I cared that much, honestly. I also never plucked my eyebrows. Rarely wore lipstick except the occasional black or dark purple, and that was not very often. I remember when I first found a black lip gloss. That was super exciting. Where I grew up, it was really hard to find things like that. I would have to order from Hot Topic. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but to order from a Hot Topic back then, because we didn't have debit cards, I had to make my order online, mail in a money order. After they processed the money order, they would then ship me my stuff. It was like a month-long process. Okay. So, after I have my base of black eyeshadow, I would go in with a silver sparkly eyeshadow. I'm just going to use Too Faced. This was a Mary-Kate and Ashley eyeshadow. I don't even remember. And I would just put that on top of it. Because even back then, I knew that my eyeshadow was not going on smoothly. And this kind of helped hide the imperfections of that black. Not gonna lie, I think I used the same CoverGirl eyeshadow throughout all of high school because it was cheap, I didn't have a lot of money, and this stuff, if you don't throw it, this stuff lasted forever. Okay, so then the next step would be to take a white shimmery eyeshadow all the way up to my eyebrow. This was a Wet n Wild shadow. I remember it was a trio of Wet n Wild shadows, and they each screwed on top of the other. So you take the top, if you wanted to get to the middle color, you would unscrew the entire bottle of the top color, and that would open up the middle color, or you take the top two and do that. It was a mess. It was a huge mess. I am not gonna lie. Now I would take this in the inner corners of my eye, all the way halfway to my nose, because that was my thing. Yeah, so I remember that this was a Wet n Wild loose eyeshadow powder, and it was dark blue, light blue, and a white on top. It's really amazing that I still remember that. But you can't buy it anymore, that I know of at least. Okay. Aww. This brings back memories. Alright, so now that I have my eyeshadow on, the next step would be to put on my eyeliner. Now, I would usually buy CoverGirl, just a black eyeliner. Didn't matter if it was waterproof or not. I didn't want to buy that because I remember, it worked back then, but I already have this. This is Beauty People. It came in this really cute set of 5, which is a special edition. It's a Korean brand. This is called Gleam Black. So I would line my entire eye. I would follow the natural curve of my eye to get a point on this side and then get a point on this side. And the CoverGirl had a smudger on the end, and I would smudge it into place. So I'm just going to use a brush in place of the smudger as best as I can, because it has been a while since I've done this. But back then, I learned how to do this quickly. Man, this stuff is so much better than that CoverGirl. It goes on so smoothly. It blends so well. This is actually a really nice product. There we have one eye, and yes, I did this every single day. It's a little heavy nowadays, but whatever, It was fun. Now, I never took eyeliner into my waterline. The eyeliners back then used to really irritate my eyes. They would just run, and then it would be all down my face. So I never did that. So we are not going to apply it to my waterline today either. And I can tell just my technique for applying eyeliner has changed. So back in the day, I was on vampirefreaks.com. Does anybody remember that website, vampirefreaks.com? Probably not. It was at the very, very early days of social media. You would post your picture and all your gothy best, and people would vote on it and rate you from 1 to 10. And you can meet people, and it was like MySpace before MySpace. Or was MySpace out before then? I don't know. Let's just even this up a little bit. Okay. So it looks a little messy, but I liked it that way because it went with the whole look I was going for. So this is my makeup from high school. Done pretty much the same way I did it before, using very similar products. Honestly, I think because my eyeliner pencil is so good, it made it a little more difficult to do. I used to be able to do this in like 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. Like, I was crazy. And then I would just put on some mascara. I would always buy the blackest black I could find. And it was typically CoverGirl, though I used a bunch of other brands. It was whatever I could afford at the time. I had an allowance, and that's all I was allowed to use. So I had to stick within that. My parents didn't approve of my look, so they refused to buy me makeup. Granted, we were on a bit of a fixed income, so we couldn't buy expensive stuff. I actually didn't even realize that there was such expensive makeup out there until I was much, much older, because we had our local Walmart. Like I said, I grew up in a very, very small town. We didn't have a lot of businesses around. Oh, I forgot I used to put mascara on my lower lash line. I don't do that very often now because I do have kind of watery eyes, and I feel like mascara always tends to run under my eyes. Back then I used to do this. Now I always did one coat. Only one. Alright, so now we have my eye look complete. My foundation is complete. This is literally all I would wear to high school. I mean, subtle, isn't it? It's super natural. I did such an amazing job with it. No, I absolutely loved my makeup in high school. I loved my style. I look back on it fondly. I really enjoyed being unique and not blending into the crowd, and I probably still enjoy that. Though I will tell you that back then there was a lot of discrimination. And you know, anywhere I walked, people judged me based on how I looked. They thought that I was into like the dark arts or something, and it was crazy. I can't tell you how many times people have asked me to leave, that my kind is not welcome there. Just because I wore black every day and dark makeup. I don't know. People are crazy. Now, we are going to take this further. So this was the extent of the makeup you were allowed to wear in high school. You could not wear anything more. I only wore black lipstick when it was Dressed Like a Celebrity Day to high school, and I dressed up as Amy Lee from Evanescence because that was totally the thing. And I wore black lipstick then, but I don't think I could wear it on any other day. So, when I wanted to wear more makeup, which was usually after school, I'd go hang out with my friends, or I'd go to Code Blue or whatever, we got a little creative with our liquid eyeliner. Now, I do know I used to use a Wet n Wild. It had a felt tip on it. That's why I like using the Stila, because it's very similar to it. It's actually a little pot, though, like a little pot of liquid eyeliner, and you dip the felt tip in. It was really cool, and I think I got for like $1 back then. So I'm actually using a old photo of me as a reference for this because it's been so long. So I would actually extend my cat eye. often I did this in high school, I'd be better at a cat eye. I'm really not. I'm just not that good at a cat eye. But anyway, so I'd extend my cat eye. And then I would get creative with whatever I was feeling that day. And again, I'm going to mimic what I was doing there. Following the natural curve of my face. I have to tell you, the Stila does not work as good for this as I remember the Wet n Wild. I had such an amazing viewpoint on life back then. I felt my whole body was a canvas, and this was just me expressing myself. And I still feel that way, but I think I do it more on tattoos now. And there you have it. This is how I used to do my makeup in high school. Isn't it fun? Seriously, seriously. Like, I can't tell you how many times people were mean to me over just this. I was having fun. I was playing. We should all have fun and play with our makeup. Like, why not? Why is this so controversial? Why is this a problem? I love seeing that stuff like this and even more extravagant, colorful makeup is becoming accepted and even becoming the style now. Let this be a reminder to anyone that just have fun with your makeup and don't care what people think. Literally, that is why I did this. I did it because I enjoyed it, and people, they didn't like it, then they would have to deal with it because it did not bother me. Seriously, guys, this was a blast. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for letting me have the opportunity to do something like this and share it with you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, or if you want to see more videos from me like this. I try to post every Sunday and Wednesday, and with the occasional Friday. So let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Share some of your photos from high school. I'd love to see how you did your makeup as well. Were you as crazy and outlandish as me, or more natural? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and letting me share my high school experience with you. I will see you all next time.